Hi, this is Tom Mura with this week's animated drill from World Class Coaching. And it's a small sided game that I want to talk to you about this week that I really enjoy using because there's so much you can do from this one basic setup. So, the way it's organized is the field is 40 yards long by 30 yards wide. We have three small goals at each end. And then there's an end zone at each end as well, marked out by cones or flat dots that will hopefully be as unobstructive as possible. You want to keep them out of the way, so the lower profile they are, the better. And so we've got that marked off at each end, and that's only 3 yards from the small goals at the back. So we've got an even number of players on the field. Each team has one player in each end zone with a ball. So there's a ball and a player from each team in each end zone. The coach then serves a ball in from the side. Whichever team wins that ball then tries to progress that ball into one end zone or the other. The way to get it in there is by dribbling that ball into the end zone. We can't pass it in. We want the players to dribble it all the way into the end zone. When that happens, then the player from that same team that has the ball will then dribble out. And then that player is trying to combine. They can pass to teammates as well and move the ball around the field in order to find the open player to then get that ball into the end zone again on the other side. So once a team completes the process of getting it into one end zone, now that team must attack the other end zone in order to get the point. And I play this game to 10 points. So whichever team gets to 10 first. Now, if a yellow player wins the ball, now that yellow player can dribble into either end zone, either the closest end zone or the easiest one to get in, whatever it may be, dribble into that end zone. When they dribble there, their teammate comes out with a ball, dribbles, passes, however they're going to move the ball, into the open space and get an opportunity to then get that ball into the end zone. So we're going back and forth. There's a lot of transition. This game involves a lot of sprinting. You'll often find that a player with the ball will get into one end zone, and the player that was also there may have moved because they see that player coming. Maybe they'll move to this far side, and they'll dribble down that far side. Got an extra player there now. They'll dribble down that far side in order to try to avoid the pressure because players came over here while this player was trying to get in the end zone with the ball. And so they got in there. We'll get this other duplicate out. Sorry about that. And so we constantly have a situation where there's one player in the end zone from each team with the ball, and then one ball in the middle of the field being contested by these players, and always having an even number in there. So we're going back and forth. And it's fantastic just for the speed of it. The kids like it. It's high energy. It's recognition of space, recognition of when they can play forward or when maybe they need to turn around. And the easiest way to get out is to play backwards. So it's great in that respect. It just really gets the players' heads up and gets them looking. So that's the first phase of this game. Now the second phase of the game, and I'll just move some people back here. The second phase is that we'll make each team, we'll give each team back their field players. So they'll go there, put the extra balls out here. Sorry about that. They'll have the extra balls out to the side, and each team will then sacrifice one player to be a neutral player. So the neutral player will be in each of the end zones. So we'll put them here. So we'll have one neutral player, and we'll make that player red. So there's a red player there, and there's a red player there. Now there's only one ball in play. So that ball in play comes from the coach. And so now we've got 5 players in the middle on each team, which is a good number. I don't think you really want to exceed 5 in this game with these dimensions. You could always make it bigger if you're going to have more players, but I've found that 5 is about the maximum for these dimensions. Now the ball is played in again. Whichever team wins it tries to then, as quickly as possible, find one of the neutral players. As soon as they find one of the neutral players, their teammates open up in order to create passing options for that player with the ball. And we're going to try to get the ball out then. And then the goal is to move it all the way to the far target player by passing it, by dribbling it, obviously by switching it, because as the ball comes to one side of the field or the other, what we're going to find is that there's a lot of pressure that comes to that side. So then can we get somebody in on that other side, that open side, to connect a pass and then find that neutral player on the opposite side with a pass to complete 1 point. Now, I usually play this game to only 5 points because that's a good number. I've found that it's a little bit more difficult, obviously, to score than the previous game, but still possible. And 5 goals in this phase of the exercise seems to work well for my teams. So we're working on passing it, possessing it, moving it, switching the ball to the other side of the field. When things get crowded, we're looking to open up play and go to the other side. And now it's fine if this player passes the ball out and we get a lot of pressure on this player and maybe they can't play forward the way they'd like, then it's okay to pass the ball back to the neutral player that it just came from. It's just that the team doesn't get a point for that. The only way to get the point is to move the ball either through or around or by switching that ball to the other side to find the open space. And when we find the open space, then we connect with that target player at the end, that neutral player at the end for the point. So players getting their head up, looking at the space available. So that's the second phase of this. And now the third phase is that each team then designates a goalkeeper. So we'll put that player. So we'll say the black team is coming here toward the bottom of the screen and the yellow team is attacking the top of the screen. Again, the ball comes in from the coach. And when a ball is played in, now the team in black is attacking specifically one goal. So we'll flip these players around just to make it easier to see who we're talking about and which directions that we're going here. And so now we're just attacking one direction, but we're still switching play because we've still got 3 goals that we can score in. So the goalkeeper has to stay in the end zone, but the goalkeeper can move from one goal to the other in order to try to protect whichever goal is being attacked. So as the ball is moving, the goalkeeper is moving, and the goal of the attacking team obviously is to try to switch that play quickly and find an open player in order to try and score in an open goal. So again, I'll play this game usually to 5, play a couple rounds to 5, but it's a great format and we can do all 3 of those exercises that move more progressively toward real game scenarios. Sometimes what I've done is make this central goal a larger goal. Not quite a full-size goal, depending on the age group, but just larger than the others. And so more of a small-sided goal where, these might be little 3v3 goals, whereas this goal, I might make it a goal that would be used for a 6v6 or an 8v8 game. So with that, you could finish off the session by removing these cones, and so then you can have an expanded small-sided game and go to just a regular game only to 2 goals, or you could even say the goal in the middle is worth 2 points, the ones on the outside are only worth 1. You could switch that up. You could say the goals on the outside are worth 2 points and the one in the middle is only worth 1, depending on what you wanted to emphasize. But I think eventually you want to get to where it's just the regular game at the end. So we're playing, 5v5 plus goalkeepers going to large goals and just 1 goal at each end. So that's game-like. So we've progressed, to, where it was kind of non-directional to where we made it directional and then we made it actual goals. So this is a format that I really enjoy. Another coach used this in one of the sessions at the club, and I started using it with some of my teams, and it worked fantastic. So hopefully that'll work well for you. Please give it a try and let us know what you think. Thanks a lot.